Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Breakout Racing League's Round 10 Realism at Hungaroring. I'll be your commentator today, AJ Mars 7. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. It's going to be an exciting race here. Everybody seems to be fitting their proper setups, getting ready for a full quali session. Q1 just underway. Get some telemetry here for you guys. Alright, looks like Joe F1 is going to be the first car out of pit lane here. He is going to be setting the provisional pace. Hungaroring, not a lot of passing opportunities here. It's got a long front straight. Sector 2's got a precarious right-hander sweeping into a short straight with a tight chicane. The curb there in that second turn, I apologize, of Sector 2 is a scary one. You get the wheels up on there and you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Joe's showing a little sign of trouble there as he shoots right through the chicane. He's going to pick up quite a bit of gravel there on the tires. BRL was kind enough to let me do their hosting here and commentary for this league going forward Thursday nights. Appreciate that. Big shout out to BRL for the opportunity. We are following Joe F1 around. He is going to be our provisional pace setter here in Q1 in the Williams. Now, I'll remind you, these are realistic cars, realistic performance cars. See Joe dip into turn 1 here. First race is held here. We're in 1936. It's a long time ago. The first F1 race was quite a few years after that. The first F1 race was 1986. 1986. And then the history of this track, from 1936 to 2006, not one race was held with wet conditions, but 2006 brought that to a close as we saw Jensen Button take a win here in 2006 under wet conditions. Quite a feat, I'm sure. Joe showing some pretty solid pace here. Should see decent time here. As he comes around the penultimate corner, we're going to see a time for Joe here. 16.5. 16.5 for Joe. That's going to be the provisional pace. Not a bad lap there. Saints crosses for a lap. Unknown Ute. 17.5. Just 1 second off the pace there. We've got a Red Bull coming in behind him. Y Born in the Red Bull. Let's see what he's going to put up on the board. Big lap for him, 15.7. That's going to bump Joe and Ute down 1 slot each. Y Born currently the provisional pace holder there. Phantom coming around to start his lap. Looks like Zampa's on an out lap as well. Gas Smoke coming around penultimate here. Will he be able to dethrone Y Born? No. 18.3, well off the pace. Only going to get him 4th for right now. Miles Formula coming around for his time. We'll see another time here as he crosses 16.7. That's going to put him in P3 for right now. We've got the Williams of FinFan going on a lap in the Racing Point. Saints invalidated on his lap, so he'll be going back around. Zampa's still on an out lap. Y Born on his cooldown. Saint's going to get out on his lap. Let's see who we got coming in behind him. Phantom is invalidated on his lap. Won't see a time this go around. Saints is going to be our next one through here. Ute flying pretty hard. Saints is going to be our next man across looking for a time. On board with him as he comes cruising through the exit of Sector 2. Yellow's ahead of him. Salt is off the track. Ghosted, not going to slow him up at all. Saint pressing right along. If you're just tuning in, thank you for viewing. This is AJ Mars. I'll be commentating for you. The BRL Racing League Realism here. FinFan with a big time, dethroning Wyborn, 15.7. We're still in the first session of quali here. Saint's going to dip into the pits. Ute is still around, going to look for a time, but he's invalidated. McLaren, a broken reptile, going on a lap here. He's yet to get a time. Got Zampa coming around in the Ferrari. He will get a time here. 16 flat for Zampa. That's going to put him in P3. Phantom, I believe, was invalidated. He's going to be going around again. No, Phantom will get a time. 16.4. 16.4 for Phantom. We've got Boss Cookie on a lap as well in the McLaren. Hungaroring seen some famous moments as well. Mike Schumacher tied Prost for the league record, 51 total wins. 51 total wins here at the Hungaroring. We know Lewis Hamilton is caught up to Schumacher with his last win. Boss Cookie dethroning FinFan, 15.5. That's going to be the new pace. 15.5 is the time to beat. We're going to jump back to Broken Reptile, who's closing his lap out. We're going to see him come across there. P5 right in behind Zampa, 16.2 for him. He's going to be looking for a better time coming around. Taylor Clan 2000 also going to get a time here. Dethrones everybody. Big lap, 14.3, 14.3. You heard it right. Taylor Clan bumping everybody down well ahead of the previous pace. And then we've got Not Y'all F1, 15.3. Not quite enough. Taylor Clan setting the bar very high here in Q1. We know there's some quick guys out there, so we're going to have to see if anyone can take away that spot. Big lap here in Q1. Os Formula, who invalidated, is going to get him a lap here. Ryan on his lap. Yet to put up a time. 6 or 7 people still yet to get a time here in Q1. Saint is on an out lap. That should be him coming right across the line now. FinFan gets him another time. 15.2 is where he's going to be right now. Purple Sector 1 for Ryan as he's ripping into Sector 2, staying well wide of that large curb on the inside. Hard on the brakes, dipping through the chicane. We're on board with Ryan as he's trying to get a time here. Carrying great momentum through Sector 2. We're going to see a solid lap here if he can keep it together. Burap's getting some love in the chat. He's got some fans here. Appreciate it. Guys, if you're just tuning in, we're still in Q1. About 8.5 minutes to go. A few guys yet to put up some times here. The last few fellas are out on the track, looks like, trying to get some times. Move on to that next session. Ryan with a big lap. 15.2 is going to bump FinFan down to the third. Burap's right across behind him, going to steal it away. 14.319, taking the top spot.
We got ourselves a new following.
Here comes Salt, invalidated, not going to get a time this go around. Both the Renaults are closing out Sector 3 on outlaps. We'll see times from them, hopefully. Ritzy Raccoon and Mean Fern both trying to get a time here. Fin Fan looks like he's on a cooldown, going to dip into the pits. And he has got Unknown Ute behind him on an outlap. He's going to be in the Haas trying to get a better time there. Currently sitting P13 with a 17.5. Well off the pace. A dip back to Os Formula. He's coming into Sector 3 here. Looking to improve his 16.08. Very close. 0.02 of a second behind Zampa of the SSR crew. Os Formula is going to dip out of that lap. Ryan in the pit as well. Here come the Renaults. I think Ritzy's got the second spot there in the chain. Mean Fern going to be the first one across for the Renaults. Ritzy's going to go right past him as Mean Fern dips out of the lap. Ritzy's invalidated. Little team communication there, not sure what's going on. Wyborn is on an outlap. He's currently sitting P7 for Q1 right now. 6.5 minutes to go in quali. We're on board with Mean Fern as you see him cross the line for a lap. Rhodes and Zizao also on an outlap. Yet to put up times. Rhodes, Zizao, and Ritzy, the only ones yet to put up a time. We saw Mean Fern get a slow time there, 1:22.6, but he did back out of his lap, letting Ritzy get back around again. Looks like Ritzy invalidated. He's trying to get out there. Joe F1 down in the P12 spot, coming around on an outlap. He's looking to improve his time, 16.5. A little over 2 seconds off pace there. He's going to have to do a hard surge here to get back up the grid. Let's take a look back here. We've got Mean Fern and the Renault is invalid. Ritzy Raccoon on a lap here. We're going to go on board with him as he scores a purple Sector 2. Big lock up there. You can hear him squealing tires as he really pushes that Renault to the limit, trying to get as much momentum out of this last sector. And we're going to see the time he's got put up here as he comes across the line. P6 for Ritzy Raccoon, 15.39, just off the pace of Naughty All F1. Not going to be enough for the top. Take a dip back to Rhodes here as he's coming around the penultimate. Nice and tight in the Alfa Romeo. He will get a time here. P15, well off pace, 17.6. Unknown Ute is going to get a time here, 17.1. Don't believe that's an improvement. Joe has fallen back to P13 there as Ritzy moves up the grid with the time. Broken Reptile looking to improve here, and he does. 2 spots into P9, 15.7. That's going to be a slight improvement for him. Not a big jump, but I'm sure he's happy with any places he can climb. This is Al coming around the penultimate in the Racing Point. We'll watch him cross the line for a 16.01, just squeezing Zampa out again. Zampa down to P11, Zizao in for 10th, P10 for Q1 right now. We're going to see Ritzy dip into the pits. Wyborn on a lap, not happy with it, also dipping into the pits. Mean Fern dipped out of his last lap, ran a pretty slow one coming across now. We're going to see a legit time, 16.09, going to fall right into P13 between Os Formula. We've got an Alfa Romeo in the pits. We've got the Haas of Unknown Ute coming back around for another lap. He's 17.1 right now in P16, looking to improve. And he does not improve. So Burap's happy with his time. Taylor Clan also happy with his time, well ahead of everyone else. We're going to see them both at the number 1 and 2 spot. Boss Cookie right behind him. Ryan in there in P4. Fin Fan in 5, and Wyborn closing out the top 6. Ryan, also happy with his time in the P4 spot, is going to call it a day in quali of Q1. Just under 3 minutes to go if you're just tuning in. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. I am AJ Mars. I'm going to be doing comms here for the BRL Rule League on Thursday nights. Big shout out to the BRL guys, Breakout Racing League, for letting me have the opportunity to do that for you guys. Q1 is coming to a close here. You see the front runners there have called it a day. The Haas with a big slip there. Boss Cookie carrying quite a bit of momentum here, trying his best to improve. Currently P3. He dips in for the pits as well. I think everybody here is happy with their times. Unknown Ute with the big slip's going to try to get another one. The AlphaTauri dips into the pits. BRL Phantom going to try to get him one more in the last few moments. He's coming around the penultimate now in the Mercedes. Again, this is realistic performance cars. Mercedes with a big advantage here, so he's going to definitely want to improve that time of 16.4. Boss Cookie happy with his time. He is going to retire there in the pits. Ready for the battle of Q2. Back on board with Phantom here as he comes up into the Sector 2 chicane. Big lockup on entry. And a little squirrely on the exit. You see the rear end kind of wobble on him. Could cost him precious time here. Charges into the Sector 3. 45 seconds to go in quality here. Q1 coming to a close. BRL Phantom looking to improve the 16.4. We are on board with him in the Mercedes as he comes around the penultimate corner. 16.4 to 15.9. That will move him up 3 spots just ahead of Zampa, who's in P12. This out is invalid. We will see him dip into the pits. Mean Fern on an outlap might have enough time. Not sure just yet. Won't be in regulation, I don't believe. Joe is on his lap. Might let him finish his, as well as Rhodes trying to get a last-minute jump there and get into the next session. Fern on the bubble right now. Joe and the Williams trying everything he can to make it on to the next session here. Oh, and he locks up into the wall as he exits the penultimate corner. Tough break for Joe. Rhodes dips out of his lap as well, seeing the carnage ahead. And that is going to be it for those guys. Phantom coming back around after his lap. Driving conservative here. Looks like he's just trying to get it on around to the pits. All right. Burraps with the big time in Q1, 14.31. Taylor Clan right in behind him, 14.3. Those are the only 2 drivers in that 1:14 time span. Next few are in that 15-second range. We got Boss Cookie in at 3rd, Ryan in at 4th, FinFan 5th, Wyborn 6th, Little Naughty, Nodial F1 at P7, Ritzy Raccoon in at 8, Zizal squeezing in at 9 late in the session. Stay tuned, guys. We're heading to Q2. Don't forget, if you haven't already, be sure and smash that follow button. We'll be here every Thursday for the Realism League of BRL. All right, there you have it. You can see competitors moving on to Q2. Mean Fern able to hold on to that bubble seat. Joe F1 there in 15 as well. Unknown Ute, Rhodes, gas smoking ARS Saint and AMS Salt not moving on into Q2. Big times there from the front two runners, Burraps and Taylor Clan in the 114s. Untouched by the rest of the grid there. All right, we are in Q2. The timer is running. Let's see who's going to be our first driver out. All right, looks like the Mercedes makes it out. Red Bull right in front of him. Ferrari out behind them. Looks like we've got one of the Racing Points. FinFan going to take us out here. Front car for Q2. Front car for Q2. FinFan with a pretty good lap in Q1. We're waiting to see how this unfolds. We're going to follow FinFan around as he takes us out. Very busy on the track. Looks like everyone is on the track right now. All of our competitors are out on the track. It's going to be very crowded. Looking for everybody to leave space. We're hoping for some big laps here in Q2. Do we have any race predictions today? If you are watching along, I see there's 16 of you in there. Get in the chat. Let's see some race predictions. Who do we think is going to take the race today? Or before that, who do you think we're going to take the pole position out? Let's start with the quali. Who's going to take pole position? Don't be shy. Speak up in the chat. Let's see what you got. FinFan is crossing the line on a lap. Everybody's trying to spread out here. All 15 racers are on the track right now. Very busy out there. On board with FinFan as he soars into the second turn in the Racing Point. Everybody's jacking for position here. Ritzy Raccoon right back in the pits after the outlap. Maybe not happy with that setup on the tires. All right, 12 minutes, a little more to go. We're going to see FinFan, our first across the line here in Q2, set the pace. I believe we've got Burraps right behind him, going to be the next time across, and then Taylor Clan. 16-1 for FinFan. Burraps coming across the line 15-9, and Taylor Clan 15-3. Well off their Q1 paces. Nothing to be ashamed of there, though. Boss Cookie 16-9. Wyborn 15-8. Broken Reptile 17-4. Joe 17-8. All the traffic is causing some slower laps here. We could tell everybody was a little backed off there. Zizow, big lap for him, 16-8. That's P5. The Racing Points together. The Red Bulls together as well. We've got Zampa in there for a 29-3. Definitely got blocked there. Slow traffic ahead. Naughty is off the track trying to make room. Again, very, very crowded on the track. We've got Phantom there in the Mercedes. Dips under some slow traffic there, trying to get out of the way. Naughty's going to get a time here, but it's not going to be a pretty one. We got Ryan up here. Ritzy Raccoon's on his out. Ryan's going to be the next time, it looks like, in the AlphaTauri. Pretty decent time in Q1. Looking to get started here. Well up in the grid. Crosses the line for P9, 18.0. Naughty in the pits. Mean Fern coming across P10, 22.8 on that bubble position right now. Moving Zampa down. Phantom's going to get him a lap as well. P10 now on the bubble, 18.9. The Ferrari of Zampa, after getting clear of the traffic, 16.6. That's going to be P5 for him. That's a good lap. That's going to get him up there in P5, separating the racing points of FinFan and Zizou. Going to dip back to Ritzy Raccoon in the Renault. Purple sector 2 for him in the black and yellow car. Wyborn happy with his time at 15.8 is going to call it a day early in Q2. 9.5 minutes to go. Right now, we've got the Red Bulls winning in the Constructors, 214 points, followed closely by Mercedes at 209, then a large gap down to Ferrari, who's third with 104. Mercedes looking to have a big points gain here if they can get up in that grid. Ritzy getting in there for a P5 spot, 16.5, just squeezing Zamp out by a few hundredths of a second there. Mean Fern looks as though he is on a cooldown. The Mercedes of BRL Phantom is invalidated, and Naughty on an out lap. Naughty all F1 looking to get him a lap. Looks like he maybe lost it there. Had to dive out of the lap on the previous go around. He comes through the Sector 2 chicane on an out lap. Joe F1 right behind him in the Williams, also on an out lap. Everyone seems to be diving in the pits here. We're going to see where everyone sits on the time slot and then get back out there. Taylor Clan 2000 seems to be leading the driver points, 151 for him. Followed closely by Burabs, 116. We saw the big lap times in Q1 by those two. No doubt why they're up there. Third place right now in the Drivers' Champ is Boss Cookie, closing out with 101 in the previous race. All those guys definitely looking to place high here so that they can move up in those standings. Naughty seems to be struggling, and we have some rain falling here in Q2. I see raindrops. Looks like those early laps were lucky. A couple of guys able to get out there and make some early laps. We can see them falling there from the TV camera on Little Naughty's car. On the medium tires, not sure how it's going to affect his grip. It just started. He might be able to get a lap done, but we're definitely not going to see a tremendous time here. Joe F1 right behind him on the mediums, in the same boat, struggling with the rain. We got Mean Fern on an out lap on the mediums as well, maybe trying to get it before the track gets too wet. Naughty invalidates there coming into Sector 3. That is not going to be good for him. Burap's retired from the session, happy with his 15.9. Joe F1 here in the Williams. Coming into Sector 3, very conservative with the rain falling down. Not a lot of momentum there. All right, top three guys in quali: Taylor Clan, Wyborn, and Burap's all retiring from the session, happy with their time. Still 6 minutes to go, but with the rain, it is not looking favorable for faster times. Could we see rain in the race? Definitely going to toss up everybody's strategies. Mean Fern on an out lap here with just under 6 minutes to go. Rain has fallen. He is on the medium tires. Grip does look to be an issue as he runs well wide and losing the rear end. He is going to try for a lap here, though. It's very dangerous. You can see him struggling for grip on the exit. Zampa also out on a out lap on the medium tires, gambling here. We will flip back to him momentarily and see how he fares under these wet conditions. Oh, and we see Mean Fern losing the rear end. Big spin coming out of turn 1. Turns the car all the way around, struggling heavily for grip. Medium tires not quite suitable for the moisture that's on the track. Tough break for him. We're going to clip back to Zampa, who is also on an out lap, invalidated, struggling for grip. Does not look like he wants to commit to another lap there. Just too wet for the mediums. As we see the pit crew scamper to the pit stop lane there to bring him back out of the rain. Meanford cruising around in the Renault, trying to limp that car back home after the big spin in turn 1. Well, as you can see, first 3 there in Q2, happy with their times and retired. Ritzy Raccoon at 5th, also happy with his time, has called it a day. FinFan, 116, has got Burraps and Ritzy Raccoon split there in the P4 spot. Zampa went out for an out lap, track's just too wet for the medium tires, calls it, pulls it back into the pit box. Zizal there in 7th. You guys still waiting to decide if they maybe want to try to get an inners lap. I don't see it being that big of a chance. I think that might be it for Q2. We got 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Regulation time for Q2. Everyone is in the pits. Everyone's rethinking strategies here as the rain falls. If you're just tuning in, we're in the closing moments of Q2. As you can see, the rain has started to fall. Definitely changing up the strategies for our drivers here. Not sure if we're going to have a wet race yet. We will have to see. Taylor Clan with the big lap here. 115.3 in the top spot. Wyborn right behind him, 15.8. Not but a blink of an eye off of that is Burraps with a 15.929. Exactly 1/10 off his pace. I think the big decision here that all the teams are deciding, is it worth letting it rain a bit and try to get one more lap on the inners? Or are we going to just say that's it for today on Q2 and move into Q1? Looks like everyone's going to call it a day as we see everyone closing down the pit stalls. Looks like we'll be moving on to Q3 shortly. This is BRL, Breakout Racing League, Realistic Performance Car League. It looks like we are on to Q3. All right, Joe F1 again on the bubble, able to move on with a 17.8 there. Everyone below him will not be continuing on to the next session. Taylor Clan, 15.3 in the top spot. 4/10 off of him is Wyborn. Burraps right behind him, exactly 1/10 off his pace. FinFan and Ritzy Raccoon closing out the top 5. Mix of tires there, some softs, some mediums. Looks like some mixed strategies going into the race. We've yet to find out if we're going to have wet conditions under Q3 or the race. Should be exciting. All right, as we drift into Q3, you can see the rain is still coming down here. Ooh. Top 10 racers will be competing for a spot on the front of the grid here. 12 minutes to go in Q3. We're definitely going to see probably some inner runs, maybe some wets depending on how long the rain falls. Waiting to see who's going to be our first guy out of their pit stall here. Looks like somebody midway down, a McLaren. Boss Cookie out first. And he will potentially be our pace setter. Conditions look very wet. He's followed out by Joe F1 in the Williams and FinFan in the Racing Point. Taylor Clan chasing them out, and then we got the Renault Ritzy Raccoon right behind him. Conditions look very wet. Rain is still falling. Let's take a look and see what everybody came out on for tires. Oh. Inners for everybody. Perhaps still on the soft tires, but yet to fit a set. Still in the pits. We will likely see him come out on the inners as well. Not sure if the rain's going to worsen through Q3 here. Might be worth waiting a little bit to come out. Let some of these other cars dry the racing line up a bit so you can get a faster time. We will have to wait and see if that's the case. Boss Cookie quick out of the pit box. Slaps on a pair of blue or green stripes there rather. And he's going to take us out for the provisional pace of Q3. You can see him well wide there in the last turn. He's looking for as much launch as he can get out of there. Little wiggle as the rear end struggles for grip. And he is going to be on his lap, first of Q3. Very conservative through turn 1, testing the grip here. Looks like the inners are working well for him. Trying to feel out the traction there under the wet conditions. Just about everyone on the track now. Both Red Bulls have remained in the pits at this time. Again, maybe playing that strategy. Oh, we see Boss Cookie losing grip and invalidates his lap. We're going to dip one car behind him to the Williams of Joe F1, also on the intermediate tire. He's coming into the closing portions of Sector 2, trying to get him a time. Purple Sector 2 for him. A little bit of a lock up there. Nice and tight on the inside of the corner. All right, 29.5 is going to be his time. FinFan going to steal that away. 28.2, who's immediately overtaken by Taylor Clan. 27.2 is the time to beat. Ritzy Raccoon bumps FinFan and Joe both down. 27.5 for him. 27 seems to be the pace speed right now. We see Zampa coming around penultimate there. He's going to hit the start-finish line and do his lap. We got Broken Reptile going to be our next time across in the McLaren. Teammates with Boss Cookie there. Looks like grip is still a factor here. A couple of cars invalidating that first go-around. On board with Broken Reptile as he completes his lap. Looking to get a time here. Very conservative around the last corner. P4 for him, 28.9, bumping Joe F1 down to that P5 spot. We're going to see Boss Cookie here going around for another lap. All right, Boss Cookie steals it away, 26.5, big time for him. That is the time to beat right now. Taylor Clan's going to dip in the pits after his cool down. Ritzy Raccoon coming around to get him another time, looking to improve that 27.5. Currently sitting P3. Does not improve. We've got Zizou coming around on the completion of his lap. We see him cross the line for a P4, provisional P4, 27.8. BRL goes on his lap. Zampa comes across for his time, P8, 30.2. Well off the pace there for Zampa. Maybe struggling for grip. Gonna take a onboard view of BRL. Got some love there in the chat. Cheering him on. BRL, if you're watching, Smade says, let's go. Oh, and we see BRL validate there. Unfortunate. He will probably go around and try for another. Broken Reptile has gone around for an additional lap. 28.9 is his time to beat. 28.4. He does improve his time, but not position. Still in that P6 spot. Boss Cookie, after completing his big steal of the first spot, is going to dip back into the pits. Ritzy Raccoon, who is invalidated, trying to get back around to the pits. Zal invalidated as well, as FinFan comes back out onto the racing surface in his racing point, looking to improve that P5 spot with an outlap. BRL with the unfortunate invalidation is going to dip right back into the pits, change those tires. Zampa with no traffic ahead, trying to improve on that 130.2. That's well off the pace. He's going to need a big time here to get moved up. And he gets a small improvement, 128.3. That's going to move him up into the P6 spot, bumping down Broken Reptile Joe F1. Let's see, who is our next person across? Reptile coming into Sector 3 here in the McLaren. You can see the racing surface is still very wet. A lot of spray coming off the tires. Everybody out on the intermediates. All right, that McLaren's going to dip into the pits. That leaves us Joe F1 on an outlap. FinFan as well on an outlap. Looks like FinFan is going to be the first one to the line, so we will follow him around as he tries to improve his P5 position. Currently sitting right behind his teammate as well, Zizao, in that P4 spot in the other racing point. Wyborn yet to come out of the pits. And there he is, making his debut in the Q3 session. FinFan on his lap now, P5 in his racing point, ripping through the exit of Sector 1 there. You see the rear end wiggle a little bit, still struggling for grip. Surface still very wet. Carries good momentum through the right-hander there on the entry of Sector 2. Just able to hold the line there on the right side, not invalidating his lap. Grip still does appear to be an issue for everyone out there. Looks like the rain has stopped falling though. We may see some faster times here right at the end. No more sprinkles coming down. Purple Sector 2 for FinFan. As he comes into the midsection of Sector 3 here. Oh, you see the car start to slide. The rear end wanted to go, but he's able to hang it down, and there he loses it off to the left. Unfortunate. FinFan not able to get a good lap there. Struggling for grip there through the latter part of Sector 3. You can see the rear end just try to turn around on him, and that's just unfortunate.
We got ourselves in
There you have it, Boss Cookie sitting at the top, 26.5. The big time to beat here. 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes to go. They're going to try to get past him. There's still a few left to run laps. Hello, Beast Mode. I see you there in the chat. Welcome to the stream. We see quite a few drivers dip out there of the pits now that the surface is dry. FinFan getting a purple Sector 1 there. and validated late in the lap. It was unfortunate. Let's take a look and see where everybody's set up for tires on this go around. Everybody out on the soft tires all the way around. The surface is dried a bit. Rain has stopped falling. We're going to look and see if we can get some really fast lap times right here at the closing moments of Q3. Everybody's battling for a top spot here. We got FinFan in the racing point, trying to improve on that P5 time currently. Everyone out on the track now, all on the soft tires. FinFan's going to move up one spot ahead of his teammate Zizal in the other racing point. But on those inners, everyone out on the softs, we're going to see those times drop dramatically. Joe F1 invalid on his lap, rushing to get back to the line. He is followed by Boss Cookie, who's dipping out of the way of Burabs and the Red Bull. Red Bull currently the constructor champions to this point. Got a modest lead, looking to bring home the top spot for this season. Both teammates there, you can see Burabs and Wyborn holding out for the dry conditions. Joe F1 just makes it in time. 10 seconds in regulation time to go. Everybody's going to get a lap here. Joe taking it out, but you can see Ritzy very close to him. Purple sector 1 for Ritzy, carrying lots of speed. He's creeping up very quick on Joe. FinFan in the pits. Boss Cookie right now, the top spot, 26.5. That is the time to beat. All right, 2 minutes additional time right now. Everybody's going to get this lap right here, and this is going to decide who's in the top spot. Ritzy has dipped out of his lap, unfortunately, due to invalidation. Burabs, big time, 1:19.7, steals away the top spot. Taylor Clan right in behind him, 19.4, going to steal away the top spot. Boss Cookie, 19.9, is only going to be good enough for third. Wyborn, the other Red Bull, 20.4. Zampa in there for a P5, 21.5. Joe, 23.5, well off the pace there. What a spicy Q3. Everybody out on that last few closing minutes on the soft tires. Jumbles the grid. Taylor Clan, 19.4, steals it away right at the end. Burabs and the Red Bull, 19.7 in the second spot. Boss Cookie and Wyborn in the second row. Zampa and Joe right behind them. Ritzy Raccoon, FinFan, Zizal, and Broken Reptile unable to get soft laps. So there you have it, guys. That's going to be your starting grid. One Red Bull in the front row, one Red Bull in the second row. Currently our Constructors champions. Leading the pack for right now. Stay tuned. We're going to go racing here in just a moment. If you haven't already, feel free to look right below the video screen there and click that follow button. We will be here on Thursday nights doing the realistic BRL League. As you can see, the times are quick. Competition is stiff. I want to thank everybody. You got 22 viewers right now. Thank each and every one of you for tuning in. It's a pleasure having you here. Big shout out to BRL for letting me host and do comms for them in their Realism League. It's a big help for me, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, conditions look dry. We had a little bit of rain all through Q2, a sprinkle at the beginning of Q3, looking like a dry start here for the race. With 14 turns here at the Hungaroring, there's not a lot of room for passing. Most of that will be done in the start straight, as well as the closing section of Sector 1 between turns 3 and 4. Problem areas to watch out is turn 5, large curb on the inside there. Often claims victims trying to cut that corner too sharp. That curb will send the car. Also, 6 and 7, the chicane there in Sector 2. Careful, large curbs outline the middle of that chicane, easily unsettles the car. We saw some 114s in quali there. That was big laps. If you catch the rhythm of this track correctly, there's lots of speed that can be found here. Passing options are limited. We will see chain of cars here. Now the track is just over 3.1 miles. And this will be a 50% race, so we're looking at 35 laps. And these are realistic performance cars, so you will see a distinct advantage to the higher end of the constructor cars. Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull, Ferrari. Those guys seated in the lower end of the constructors. Haas, Racing Point, Williams will see a definite disadvantage in performance. They will have to display their driving skills to move up that grid. Alright, we see the leader coming around the last turn here. The cars will reform on the grid, and after 5 lights, we're going to go racing. Now with this long straight, I'm going to dive into a very tight right-hander of turn 1. There is a good chance for some carnage here into turn 1. We're going to take a nice comfortable seat here in the midfield upon race start. Let's take a look how everyone went with. All right, there we go. Five lights. We're away. As you can see, there's a mix of tires, mediums, softs, hards. Jumble of cars, everybody jockeying for position here. Taylor Clan falls all the way back to 7th. Back into the 2nd spot. Telemetry is very messed up here. All right, everybody's away clean. Looks like Ryan falls all the way to the back there, trying to catch up to the pack. Joe F1 is not in the lead. There we go. Perhaps, there we go, in the Red Bull as predicted out front. Taylor Clan riding behind him. We see the front runners pile through the Sector 2 chicane. Everyone's still very close in the opening seconds here. Zamp getting some love from Stenner in the chat. Thank you so much, Stenner, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Mostly clean there through the first lap. Perhaps in the Red Bull out front. Taylor Clan in tow. Boss Cookie of the McLaren right behind those two. And then Burap's teammate right behind them. 1:23 even for Burap's in the Red Bull, taking the fast lap on the first go around. This lobby looks like it's having a little bit of trouble. I saw some blue flags flying there. We know that is not the case. There you see the front runners pile through that chicane the second time around. Cars are starting to spread out. There's definitely a pack forming up front. Zampa bringing up the tail end of that. We got a little gap to the next P6 spot, which is Ritzy Raccoon. The front runners are starting to pull away. Burapps in the Red Bull. Taylor Clan close in tow, just a half second behind him. Then we have a second pack forming. Boss Cookie, Wyborn, and Zampa. Ritzy is the head of the last and final pack. All right, 2 laps down. Burapps 118.9. You see the speeds picking up, times dropping down. The Mercedes of Taylor Clan looking to attack here. One more time around, we'll see the DRS activate, and that's when the overtakes are going to start. We see Phantom and Joe battling it out. Phantom looking to the outside, very close together, almost made contact. Phantom around the long way. Compound advantage to Joe, but Phantom getting it done, absolutely sending it on the inside there. No TL F1 in P8 now has to fend off Phantom, who is a man through the grid. The front runners spread now. Taylor Clan losing a little bit of time to Burapps, but staying in the fight. You can see the 2 front packs there. Little separation between 2 and 3. Zampa there. They're all as lonesome. Ritzy Raccoon and Broken Reptile battling it out here right behind those 2. We've got Salt in the back here, just 2 tenths off the person in front of him. Big chain of cars there, 5 or 6 in a row. Burapps again reduces 0.7, the new fast lap to beat. Here we see the Renault working to get past Joe F1, and he gets it done in the straight. The other Williams looking to well, and he does. Os Formula shooting right past him on the inside. Joe looking to battle back there. Big lockup by Os Formula as he tries to get the nose turned in there. Back up. No TL1 on the outside of Broken Reptile. He's going to back out here. Watch the curb. The curb almost able to hang on to it. Expert driving there to keep that car in a straight line. You can see it start to go. That's just time though. Back up to the front. Taylor Clan losing a little bit of time. 2 off down to 7 tenths. Yellow flag there in the back. We've got a Williams around. Looks like Os Formula out. Terminal damage. Switch back to Phantom. See if we can get a look at it on the way around. Oh yeah, you can see the Williams plowed into the wall there on the right side. That is it for the Williams of Os Formula. Tough break for him. Taylor Clan making a big run here, closing the gap up. Stinner with the big donation, 100 bits. Thank you so much, bud. Appreciate that very much. Joe F1 in the pits. Looks like he's got a bit of wing damage. Let's take a look. BRL Phantom in there as well. Nope. Joe just going to the medium tires. Tires and a nose change for BRL Phantom. It's a long stop for him as he gets that new nose cone fitted. Burapps in the Red Bull still out front. Taylor Clan a half second behind him, staying with. Notial has closed the gap after the potential dangerous slide off the large curb in Sector 2. Right back in the mix here for P7. Broken Reptile fending him off the best he can. OTL F1 in the Ferrari. Looks to have better pace. Gives the McLaren a little nudge there. Says you can go a little faster. Stop holding back. Burapps and Taylor Clan steadily battling it out here. Burapps is defending well. Ritzy in the pits for the tire change. Zizou and his teammate FinFan working well together back here, 10 and 11, trying to work as a team to move up the grid. The front runner pack now, Burabs and Taylor Clan 3.5 seconds out in front of the second group. The second group, Boss Cookie and Wyborn. Boss Cookie doing what he can to defend against the other Red Bull. Back here is the battle to watch, though. The Ferrari and the McLaren of Broken Reptile and Notial F1. Notial patiently waiting behind him here, looking for an opportunity and to capitalize. He's in attacking range for the front straight. The last 2 laps, we've seen just slower through the closing corners of Sector 3. We saw a little brief tap there on the last. Notial with a good run here. He's going to have DRS out of this corner. Here, batteries engaged. Looks to the inside. And he's going to get it done cleanly. McLaren is defending. And the Ferrari of Notial F1 gets it done, moving up into that P6 spot right behind his teammate Zampa. Taylor Clan falling off a little bit more too, 8/10 now off. Take a look back here. FinFan in the racing point, 3/10 off Salt in front of him in the Alfa Romeo as they come into Sector 2 here. The other Mercedes, BRL Phantom, way back now, 20 in danger of being lapped here after having to pit and change the nose cone. Joe F1 on the medium compounds with the advantage is charging up on Ritzy Raccoon. Oh, and we have a yellow flag. Yellow flag. Taylor Clan looks like he has lost it in Sector 3. That is a tough break. Well out in front he was with Burabs. That's going to give Burabs and the Red Bull a huge lead advantage now. 6 seconds. No pressure at all right now. Zampa in the pits for a tire change. Soft to medium compound. FinFan able to get past Salt. They're battling on turn 1. You can see Salt still on the outside, dropping back in behind. Not able to hold a position. Takes a lunge inside, not able to get it done as FinFan defends well. You see the chain of cars there. FinFan, Salt, Ryan, and Zizal, the other racing point, all a chain of cars and a DRS train there coming into Sector 2. Naughty almost got Broken Reptile out of his DRS range. Notial F1, 4 seconds off Taylor Clan, who looks to have lost the car there on the lap 3. That is a tough break for him. He had a good run going there. Best to get close back up to Wyborn in the Red Bull. Right out, there's a few distinct packs at this point. Oh, Taylor Clan struggling there again in the same turn. You see the ruse on him. Able to hang on to the car, falling back yet a few more tenths. Burabs way out in front now, 6.6 seconds. No pressure at all on him. He can run conservatively on those tires. Boss Cookie in there, 6.6 seconds in that second place spot. Zampa has left the session, looks like maybe a lag out. We'll see if we can get him back in here. Sector 1. That's going to be an Alfa Romeo. Looks like sleep. Doesn't look like he's got any damage. Maybe just backing out there, losing the car. Definitely off pace, though. You can see Saints and the Haas behind him looking to capitalize. That is our closest battle right now for P12. I'm going to jump back up to Broken Reptile, who's also had Finfern get by him in the Renault. Notial F1 and the Ferrari opening up a gap to that group, doing the best he can to move in closer. Our leader, oh, that's going to be Wyborn. Wyborn going to the hard compound. Hard for him. Might have had a little damage there. Drops back to P10 in the Red Bull. Taylor Clan moving up back into the third spot. 5 seconds off of Boss Cookie, who's now 7 seconds off of Burabs, trying to stretch a lead here. Burabs trying to get ahead for a pit stop. He is on the medium compound tires. Plenty of life left in those. He's going to do his best to try to open that gap up so that he can have a pit stop and some room. Zampa has crashed out of the lobby. Not sure who is responsible for that, but we'll see if we can get Zampa back in here. There's Zampa. We'll see if we can get him back in here. Maybe he's just watching at this point, not happy with the outcome. All right, and we're back. Let's take a look. FinFan 2/10 looking to attack on the McLaren of Broken Reptile. Broken Reptile seems to be falling off here. Maybe those tires are showing a little wear. FinFan looks to the inside. Broken Reptile real wide. Defending well, though. Broken Reptile back out front. FinFan looks to the inside. Oh, it's very close. Reptile having to back out. Ryan trying to third party this fight. You see Ryan looks to the outside there as we look over FinFan's rear spoiler. Ryan capitalizing as well on the move. Broken Reptile losing 2 spots there. Tough break for him. FinFan making a nice overtake there. Broken Reptile having to go a little wide. Ryan seeing the advantage, capitalizes as well. Overtakes for both of them. Broken Reptile down to P8. Looks like Zampa has rejoined here. Now Ryan closing in on FinFan, trying to move up. Chain of cars there in the middle of the pack. 7.3 seconds to second place. Burab's still out to a pretty comfortable lead. We are watching the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th place. Mean Fern trying to close in on the Ferrari there, just inside DRS range. He will have it again here. Oh, he will not. Not quite there in the entry zone, so he's doing his best to chase him down without it. Take a look at the battery situation here. The Renault just over half for the Renault. We're going to dip back to Little Naughty. Very low, less than 10%. Mean Fern could be looking to make a push here. Fantastic battles. This is the battle right here. These chain of cars. 5, 6, 7, 8, all very close together. Not far off each other's pace. A big DRS train here as everyone's trying to fight for position. Burab's still out to a very comfortable lead in the Red Bull. Boss Cookie has Taylor Clan in tow. Still a little bit off of him. You can see Taylor Clan coming around the last turn here on board with him. You can see the McLaren halfway down the start straight. He's doing his best to get back in range here, but he's still got quite a fight to get there. 13 of 35 laps completed. Mean Fern hanging on to that battery, not quite ready to commit to an overtake. Trying to get No TL F1 in range here. Has the compound advantage on the mediums. It's like Ryan getting it done here, able to get past FinFan. Good move there. Big lockup. FinFan looking to get it back. Not going to do it. Ryan defends well. Ryan capitalizing, moving up that grid 2 spots in 2 laps. That's tremendous, showing good pace in the AlphaTauri. We've got Unknown Ute in the pit. We're going to take a dip back, see which compound he's coming out on. White stripes for him. That's going to be the hards. Burab's there coming around the penultimate, taking lap 14. We see his pit window there going to the hard compound potentially. 14 was the lap for Pitts. We're going to see if he dips in on this go around or is going to try to stretch those mediums a little bit longer. Let's take a look back through the grid. Boss Cookie now almost 9 seconds off of Burapps. Taylor Clan doing his best in the Mercedes to get caught up. He's got that gap close to Boss Cookie, 2.5. The Ferrari of No TL F1, 10.5 seconds back. It's a long way back right now, but pit stops yet to come, so that will change. FinFan in the pits in the Racing Point, going to the hard compound. Saint's going to get past him. It does not look like Rhodes will beat him to the exit. Yes, no, comes out right ahead of him. Ritzy looking to get it done here. It's like Zampa's back in control of his car. On board with him now as he lunges for Ritzy Raccoon. Not quite there yet. Rhodes right there in tow of Zampa as well. Joe F1 way back, P16 still in the fight for the back markers. Burapps still out front now, 9.8 seconds. Yellow flag, yellow flag. Zampa appears to have lost it on the curb there in turn 2 that I warned about pre-race. Not a safe spot to be. See if we can take a look at his car, see if he's got any damage. Yes, big crash, right in plate missing. He is going to be in the pits there. Tough break for Zampa. Taylor Clan in the pits in the Mercedes. He's coming out on the hard compound. Wyborn going to squeeze right past him, as well as Broken Reptile. All right, we've got Burapps coming up on what's potentially going to be lap traffic if he can get around them. Scheduled to pit on 14, stays out. Well ahead of second place now, 10 seconds and gaining time. I see him staying out. I see him looking for some longer time if the tires are holding up. No, he does. He stays out. Stays in, rather. He comes in the pits. Our leader's in the pits. 10 seconds back is Boss Cookie. You see him passing the pit entrance. Also going to dip in. No TL F1 enters Sector 3. First and second place in the pits. He is on the hard compounds. Gonna stay out. Burapps on the hards. Boss Cookie on the hards. Will Naughty beat him out? Naughty looking at a pit stop in the next few laps. No TL F1 in to the second spot. Ryan into the third spot. Mean Fern into the fourth. Zizal. Boss Cookie coming out P6 after those pit stops on the fresh hards. Burapps 3.6 second lead after that pit stop, able to maintain an advantage. All right, let's take a look at the tire situation. All right, there you have it. Tires as requested. 15 laps for No TL on the hards. Ryan also 15 laps. Mean Fern and Zizal, 15 laps on those mediums. Salt also showing 15. See Burapps setting a Sector 2 purple with the new compound. All right, there you have it. Those are the tire situations for everybody. On board with Burapps as he takes us into lap 17, currently in the lead. You see Naughty losing time there on those older tires. Taylor Clan, though, stealing away that fast lap. 118.4, currently the fast lap holder. All the way back from that P5 spot. Right on the rear end of Boss Cookie. We've got Mean Fern in the pits. Zizal in the pits. Salt and Saints in the pits. Once they return, we'll take another look back, see what everybody's on. Watching the battle with Taylor Clan and Boss Cookie now. Ooh, little wiggle there by Taylor Clan coming out of the second turn of Sector 2. Car wiggles real hard, able to keep the momentum and keep it on the blacktop. All right, looks like the second group is pitted. We're going to take a quick moment to look at the tire switch. Everybody out on the hards that pitted. Everyone on the hards. Few guys yet to pit. Gas smoking. Joe F1 and Rhodes still on the old mediums. I'm sure they are probably going to go the same route. Let's take a look back here in the back. Everyone spread well out, most over a second, some even more than that. Joe just outside of DRS range of AMS Salt there. Your close battle right now is Taylor Clan and the Mercedes. All over the rear end of Boss Cookie, doing his best trying to get caught up and past him, but we see him lock up heavy there. We are on board with Taylor Clan and the Mercedes. Fantastic race so far. House Formula out early in the race due to terminal damage in Sector 2. Only car to retire so far. 18 of 35 laps underway. This is the closest battle. Boss Cookie defending well against the Mercedes of Taylor Clan. Catching a penalty there though. We're starting to see those rack up. Oh, big lockup by Boss Cookie. Doing everything he can to make that McLaren as wide as possible. Oh, Taylor Clan very wide out of the penultimate corner, losing tons of ground. Falls back to just under a second. Tough break. He had just closed up well there. We were looking to see if he was going to be able to make an attack. Unfortunately, losing the car a little bit there, going very wide in the last corner. With the pit stops completed, Ryan right on the gearbox of Notial F1. He's looking to get by him very soon. There we see the Ferrari AlphaTauri close in tow. Perhaps back out to a 9.3 second lead after the pit stops, very quickly opening that gap back up. Boss Cookie closing up on Ryan now. We've got 4 cars battling it out here. Notial F1 doing his best to fend off the wolves here. But we're going to see a battle. Notial in for his pit stop. Ryan going to have to fend off Boss Cookie. He's got a great run out of the last corner. On the inside here we see. Going to get it done. Taylor Clan having to brake heavily to miss the rear end of the AlphaTauri. As we look over the rear spoiler there, we see Taylor Clan a little off the pace after having to brake hard. Boss Cookie making quick work of Ryan. You see that battle back there. Taylor Clan looks out. Ryan with a little block. Big battle here. Boss Cookie opens up a gap as those 2 cars behind start to battle. On board with Taylor Clan. And patiently looking for an opening behind Ryan. Probably a little frustrated after that bobble coming out of the last corner there 2 laps ago. Ryan definitely holding up the Mercedes here. Here we go. We're going to see Taylor attack here for sure. He's looking both sides. Very impatient behind the AlphaTauri who dips into the pits. Not going to have to battle him for position. All right, now Taylor Clan back in the position. He's just out of DRS range. Going to have to try to really push and catch up to Boss Cookie here. Another big lockup on the right front. Burap's now out to a 10.5 second lead. Very comfortable laps. Those hards will definitely bring him all the way home. No reason to push here. We're going to take a look. Ryan coming back out on the yellow stripe mediums. Taylor Clan closing rapidly on the McLaren of Boss Cookie. But as we've seen in the previous laps, the McLaren is defended well. Joe F1 back in the pits again. Going to the yellow compound. Medium tire. Burrups out to a nice comfortable lead. You see him not really pushing the car too hard. Has a completely full battery. Not looking to be attacked at anytime soon. Boss Cookie has got a comfortable lead there on Taylor Clan. Taylor Clan with the DRS is going to close it up here, but not in enough time to make a move into turn 1. Maybe turn 2 here. We're going to take a look. There you have it. Yellow flags going into the chicane. Looks like that's the Mercedes, a BRL Phantom off the track again. Looks like right before the chicane or at the chicane. And then we've got a racing point as well. It's all Fin-Fan. Looks like a victim of the sausage curb there in the right-hander of Sector 2. Oh yeah, big damage to the front end of the racing point. No end plates, heavily damaged front wing. He's going to be in the pits. Tough break for Fin-Fan there. Taylor Clan still in the hunt for the Mercedes of Boss Cookie. Not quite able to get it done just yet. In range, needs a really good launch out of this corner here. There he is, Taylor Clan closing rapidly. Goes around the outside. Boss Cookie makes him take the long way around. You see the lockup. They're wheel to wheel. Still side by side. Oh, Taylor Clan with a risky move on the inside. Boss Cookie defending well. Squeezes him out a little wide. Boss Cookie defends the position with expertise. Taylor Clan very impatient back there. Almost takes a dive. Fin-Fan in the pits. Of course, getting that wing repaired. Heavy damage on the front. Looks like that sausage curb got the best of him. An epic battle here between Taylor Clan and Boss Cookie. Taylor Clan looked like he got it done there in between turn 1 and turn 2. Boss Cookie on the exit of turn 2 really stuck it out there, able to get it done. Phantom losing the car again. Looks like the entry of Sector 2 again, missing a right end plate this time. Very tough break for him. We see Joe making a move on Zampa here into turn 1. They are side by side. Zampa trying to defend but dips back underneath. Taylor Clan again makes the move on Boss Cookie in the first turn. Able to get it done a second time. We're going to see if Boss Cookie's got the momentum to get it back. It does not look like he does. Taylor Clan locking up again there, trying to get the car turned in. Not successful on the first go, but as you see, able to get it done the second go around. Boss Cookie held him off for quite a few laps there, unable to fend him off forever. Taylor Clan trying to open a lead up here. Burab's well ahead, 10.5 seconds, 24 of 35 laps completed. Cars are very spread out. Saint looking to make an attack here on Rhodes. Dips to the inside. Not able to get it done there. Going to make a run for the next corner. Rhodes takes the inside line. Salt the long way around. Trying for the switchback. Salt gets it done there on the exit the second turn. Boss Cookie's falling off now, 1.5 seconds. Taylor Clan in the hunt for Burab's. Not going to happen at this point. It's Burab's race to lose. He's just got to keep it together and bring the car home. Taylor Clan now 11 seconds off the leader. Boss Cookie has fallen back to a second and a half. Wyborn in the Red Bull in P4 is 6 seconds back from Boss Cookie. It's just not going to be enough. He's going to need a big miracle here. The gaps all over the track, just over a second minimum time. Rhodes is still close to Saint after Saint takes the overtake in the last lap. Very spread out now. Everybody's running their own races. We see FinFan with the fresh tires making a fast lap, 117.7 on the medium compounds. That is the new fast lap, which is immediately knocked out by Burab's 17.5 on the hards. Burab's now still the leader, 11.5 seconds ahead now, and the holder of the fast lap, trying to get that extra point. Not much going on now with everybody spread out. Let's take a look at some details. All right. Honorable mentions here. Salt up 9 positions. NoTL F1 also up 9 positions. Both contenders for driver of the day. Big drops are Joe F1 down 10 spots and Zampa down 12 spots. We saw Zampa with the unfortunate lag out early in the race. Probably a contributor to that. Phantom in for 3 stops. Joe and Zampa both in for 2 stops. FinFan in with 2 stops. We saw FinFan lose it there in the right-hander in Sector 2. Ritzy Raccoon still out on the hard tires, 19 laps. Rhodes, after 24 laps on the mediums, has brought the Alfa Romeo to the pits for fresh tires. 24 laps he stretched. That was impressive. We're going to take a look. He is going to the soft compound to finish the race. All right. Gap is continuing to open at the front. Zizou closing in on Ritzy Raccoon. This is the battle for P7. He is in DRS range. Closes the gap, not able to get it done into turn 1. He's going to see if he can get him in the second part of this DRS. Ritzy gets a pretty solid run out of turn 1. Zizou not able to capitalize. Ryan still in the hunt of Nodial F1. Not able to get past the Ferrari as of yet. You see Joe making a run here on Unknown Ute for the 14th position. He's got the battery engaged. Fins are open with the DRS. He's going to look to the inside of Unknown Ute's Hoss. Getting it done with ease. Should see the Williams come out ahead here. Yes, we do. And Joe moving up to P14th with that move. Zizou still in the hunt of the Renault of Ritzy Raccoon. Not quite able to close the gap close enough for an attack. He's in DRS range, 0.6 off. Don't think that's going to be enough time for him to get caught up. And no, he doesn't. Still a large gap there into turn 1. Not much going here in the later rounds, later laps of this race. Taylor Clan still 10 seconds off the leader. Boss Cookie 4.7 seconds back now, steadily losing pace. Wyborn running comfortably between Boss Cookie and Notial F1. Fin Fan still in back, the fastest lap, 17.5. That is the fast lap to beat as of right now. 29 laps of 35 laps completed. Ryan giving his AlphaTauri all he can, trying to get caught up to the Ferrari of Notial F1. Big lockups there in the last two turns, doing everything he can to get the car slowed down. Ooh, we see lockups from Ritzy and Zizou as well. Zizou just not getting the run out of the last corner that Ritzy's getting. Ritzy able to defend all the way down to the first corner. Ritzy needs a good run here. The Renault showing quick acceleration, able to run away in the exits of the corners. Joe has made short work of Unknown Ute. Zampa and Rhodes back there after some pit stops, battling it out. Taylor Clan's closed the gap a little bit, 9.2 seconds at this point. Perhaps still comfortably ahead. Boss Cookie continuing to lose time to Taylor Clan, 5.4 seconds there. The frustration that Ryan must have here, continuously battling to get back. BRL Phantom in on the soft compound for a 16.6. That's going to be the new fast lap. Well down in the grid, bringing up the rear at P19. Went to the soft compound, trying to grab that extra point. We see Taylor Clan here, squeezing past the lap traffic of Joe F1. Trying to shave time here. He's only got 5 laps to get caught up. I don't see it happen. It's perhaps race to lose at this point. All he's got to do is bring the car across the line. Ryan really pushing here. It's got very close to Nautial F1. Yellow flags in Sector 2. Looks just like slow traffic there. No accident. That's the battle we're watching. Zampa able to get past Unknown Ute there for the P15 spot. Ryan really struggling in that corner, locking up each time, but he has closed the gap. Just a half second as they come around. You see just over the left shoulder there as he's closing in on the Ferrari. He's trying to make a move here. He looks to the inside. Drops right underneath. The Ferrari with the switchback goes right back around him. Excellent racecraft. Gives the spot back, though. I think there was a little contact there. The Ferrari of Notial F1 giving him a little hat tip, letting him maintain the spot due to the contact. Ryan back behind that Ferrari for many laps, finally able to capitalize, got in range and got it done. That moves the AlphaTauri up in to P5. On board with Notial F1 as he's fighting back to get his position back. Oh, little slip there on the curb, able to maintain the speed. Lap traffic ahead. 32 laps completed in the closing laps of this race. Lots of penalties rolling in from the back markers as we see everybody jockeying for position, trying to get up into the points. Nautial F1 not able to get it done there on the next lap, falling back a little bit. Taylor Clan pushing really hard now in the closing sector here. 8.9 seconds. He's closed the gap from just under 11 seconds down to just about 9 seconds here. Really, really pressing the Mercedes hard. Not much battery left, though. He's really having to rely on the momentum. But as you can see, he's really pushing the car in there with a lockup into the second to last corner here. Barab still comfortably out front in the Red Bull. You can see him coming into turn one as the Mercedes comes around the penultimate. Still a lot of distance between those guys. Taylor Clan running out of time, 8.8 seconds back with just 2 laps to go. Fin Fan catches a penalty there as well. Penalties are definitely going to play a factor here in the backside of the pack. Wyborn, far back in the grid early in the race, has now found his way all the way back up into P4. Good points for constructors here, for the Red Bull constructors. Wyborn back a ways early in the race has snuck his way all the way back up to the front group. Boss Cookie catching some penalties, pushing really hard here. Gonna have to open up a gap. Wyborn only back 11 seconds. Boss Cookie in danger of losing that spot to penalties. Not sure just yet how many he has. Taylor Clan shaving a little bit of time there, still well out of range. Looks like Buraps has got this one in the bag. BRL Phantom back in the pits again. Maybe some fresh softs. Try one more. We see the race leader, Buraps, in the Red Bull, coasting through Sector 2. No contest for him today. Out front, running easy laps. Still got 70% battery. No one will challenge him. Taylor Clan doing his best to close back up, but has just run out of time. All right, Buraps comes across to the start finish, taking the white flag. 1 lap to go for the Red Bull. The Ferrari of Notial F1 has fallen back almost a second to Ryan. Ryan's still struggling here in Sector 3. Lots of lockups through these final turns. Zizal still stuck behind Ritzy Raccoon, doing his best to close up, but just can't seem to get that racing point ahead of the Renault. Take a look at the back here. Unknown Mute trying to get it done on roads here in the last lap. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Broken Reptile right in the middle there. P10 comes across to take his white flag. All right, we're going to go on board with Buraps, the big race winner today in the Red Bull, taking the checkered flag. Taylor Clan in the Mercedes right behind him in P2. As you see him celebrate. Boss Cookie right in behind him in the McLaren. Great points today for the constructor of Red Bull. Both guys in the top 4. Buraps taking the big points there in P1. There you have it. Front runners taking the flags. Top 6 have completed their race. Ritzy Raccoon in the Renault. Ziz out right behind him in the racing point. We're going to see if penalties make a difference here. No, they do not. Mean Fern in as well. Phantom able to get the fast lap right at the end. 116.1 extra points for the Mercedes team. Broken Reptile across. Will penalties play here? Does not appear they will. FinFan as well across the line. In. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Burapps in the Red Bull, your big race winner. Stay tuned. We are going to do some post-race interviews there as we see Ryan in the AlphaTauri getting driver of the day. Big shout to Ryan there. We see Burapps celebrating, holding up the cup. Well-deserved win there. Commanding lead through the entire race. All right. Bear with us. We're going to get everybody in here for some follow-up conversation. All right, guys, as you file into the party, please open the party menu and select to include your audio so the stream can hear you. Once everybody's in and ticked the box, we will get some questions out for everybody. Be sure and tick the box as you come in. Once everybody's done that, give me a shout, let me know. All right. All right, sounds like everybody's good to go. Okay, we're going to open up with our big race leader, Burapps 19. Commanding lead all the way through the race. Pretty much ran away with it. Over 11 seconds at one point. Tell us a little bit about your strategy today and how you utilized it. Yeah, tremendous pass there in the early laps. Got out front, stayed out front. Well done. Taylor Clan in the Mercedes. Very impatient there towards the end, looking to get around that car ahead of you, able to get it done, and then charged up, closing the gap very well. What was your strategy going into today, and tell us a little bit about your race? Saw it. Good move there. Waited behind Boss Cookie for a few laps, looking very impatient. Finally capitalized there. Got shut down the first try, and the second time able to get it done. That's going to lead us into our next question. Boss Cookie, excellent defending in the McLaren, bringing in the P3 spot today. Really showing some excellent defense, holding up the Mercedes there, trying to hold out for that P2. Unfortunately, not able to do it. Let's hear a little bit about what your plan was going into today and how you executed it. Well, you really showed your defending skills today. You held Taylor off on the first attempt, unable to do it on the second tip. He was able to squeeze by. The Mercedes engine in the realistic format is commanding, able to sneak by. Great job on the P3 today, though. Big shout out to BRL for allowing me to do the comms here and host the race. I really appreciate it. Today was a great race. Perhaps running away with it right off the bat, staying out front, getting the big win. Solid points for Red Bull. I believe his teammate also came in P4, so they're going to see some very big points for the constructors and keep them out front. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, feel free to hit that follow button. I will be here Thursdays to commentate this league. I also commentate for a few others. Info there in the stream, so don't be shy to follow along. Appreciate it, everybody, and we'll see you here next Thursday for the continuation of the BRL Realistic Racing League. Thank you.